Shocking. I was shocked. Shocking. Wow. Shocking. Another shocking fact. Shocking. It's another cultural shock. Oh my god. Look at this. Welcome to Iceland, guys. This is my first ever time in Iceland, and in this video I want to share with you my first impression and also some cultural shocks you're definitely gonna have when you come to Iceland for the first time. And one more time, I just really love the Icelandic church. Hi guys, I'm Anna, a travel vlogger. If you were following me for quite a time, you know that this channel was actually born in Norway. This is where I spent 3 years of my life. When I was coming to Iceland, I was quite sure that these two countries are quite similar, but oh my god, I was totally wrong, guys. By the way, did you notice that I'm wearing these things? They are earbud translators. This is translating device. Those earbuds, they can recognize up to 40 languages, including Icelandic, and then translate what people saying around you right in your ears. You will say magic, but it's not. It's just TIMEKETTLE translating earbuds. I'm not bothering you with all technical specifications of this device here. I will just drop you the link in the description for this video. Go and check it if you love traveling as much as I do, and if you love understanding what people around you are talking about, it will definitely work for you. TIMEKETTLE translating earbuds. Cool things. I'm definitely traveling with them now. So, my cultural shock number one was Reykjavik Airport. In case you cannot imagine how huge it is. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing it with, for example, Heathrow Airport, which is supposed to be the biggest one in Europe. If you think just in London there are 9 million people living there, and how many of them just traveling through Heathrow. But if you think about Oslo Airport and how tiny it is, just to let you know, the population of Norway is 5 million people. The population of Iceland is 370,000 people. Yes, in Iceland you have 370,000 people living, and it's another cultural shock. But how massive their airport is. You really need to walk a lot when you're just arriving to Reykjavik, and also they have so many little shops and so many cool places to take some food and some drinks. Yes, when you're coming to Iceland, when you're coming to Reykjavik, be prepared to be culturally shocked with the size of its airport. Cultural shock number 2, and the weather. Guys, the weather is changing here like crazy. I came here in the middle of October, and oh my god, it was like pouring rain all morning, and I was like, oh my god, such a miserable weather. What I'm going to do with it? 20 minutes after, the rain stopped, like somebody just waved their magic wand. Oh, magic wand! And now we have this. Can you imagine this? 20 minutes ago I couldn't even walk without my umbrella, and now... So when you're coming to Iceland, be prepared for both types of weather. Take your umbrella, expecting the rain, and also take your sunglasses with you for this. There you go. And coming from my second point number 3. I'm sorry, Icelandic people, but I personally think that October is the worst time to come to Iceland. Let me explain my point. Iceland is pretty much like the north of Norway, like Arctic Circle, the Forten Islands, very famous for its midnight sun. Summertime when it's daylight 24/7, and also wintertime it's polar night with a beautiful northern lights. Considering that midnight sun lasts from end of May till beginning of August, and the northern lights, they don't really appear before beginning of November, I would say that October is like a short shoulder season in between, so it's not midnight sun anymore, but it's not the northern lights quite yet. So when you're coming in October, expect it's gonna be getting dark about 6 p.m. and also it's quite rainy. This weather is a miracle. My advice would be to choose between 2 major seasons to come to Iceland. I was told that the best ones would be from the very end of June till end of July for midnight sun experience, and if you want to experience polar night, yeah, consider January and February. That's going to be the darkest part of the year in Iceland. Point number 4, and probably the last point about the weather. It's not as cold as I expected, but it's a little bit too much rain from what I expected. Okay, let me tell you something. I was here for 3 days and this is the first one with the weather like this. Before that it was like 20-minute rain, 10 minutes of a little bit of sun, then so much rain and then a little bit of sun. And the rain here is really awful because you also have a complementary wind with it, so your umbrella will not really protect you. So if you're coming to Iceland together with your umbrella, I would highly recommend you having you something with the hood, like a raincoat. My next absolute cultural shock was to find out that there are no McDonald's or Starbucks in Iceland. Shocking. McDonald's tried to make it until 2009. It was presented here, but it just didn't work. There are 2 versions I've heard from my colleagues here. That first, it's just like not enough population and people were not really interested in this sort of food. And the second one, that the guy who franchised McDonald's and opened it in Iceland, he wasn't really using the best ingredients and the best management techniques. So that's why the place went bankrupt. If you know what happened with McDonald's in Iceland, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm quite curious to find out why it didn't work here. Starbucks you can replace with local coffee shops, and the price of coffee here is lower than the price of coffee in Norway. And replacement for McDonald's exists in Iceland. It's called Taktu local burger chain, which looks very similar to McDonald's menu. My next cultural shock happened in the restaurant here. No matter that it's quite cold outside, they still serving drinks with ice. What? I was shocked when I saw that they brought the glass for my water full of ice. We are in the middle of October. It's +3 Celsius outside. It is cold, but it doesn't matter. It seems like they're serving beverages with ice all year round. So next time you're coming to Iceland, make sure you will ask the waiter before that you want to have your drink with no ice. No ice. But no matter that they're serving your beverages with ice even winter time, I was shocked how many beautifully presented, nice looking restaurants there are in Reykjavik. To me it looks like they have more restaurants here than supermarkets, and they're all so good looking. They're really nice, and the menu is amazing. The great combination I found in Iceland, the look of your dish and also the taste of it. Oh my god, this combination is a winner, absolute winner. You can clearly tell that hospitality tourism is a huge industry for Iceland. Another shocking fact for me here was that hot water in a bathroom smells. They taking water from under the ground, which is already hot, and by pipes they delivering this hot water to the houses. So they're not heating the water, it's already hot in the pipes coming to the bathrooms, but it does smell. Another cultural shock I had here is how many fish and chips places in Reykjavik. It's like literally every single corner you will bump into fish and chips. And I asked my Icelandic friends, are they such fans of fish and chips? Is this sort of food they would be eating quite often? And the answer was they're not really a big fan of fried cod. They love cod, don't get me wrong, but they're not really a big fan of fish and chips. They're doing this, attention, because of the amount of British tourists traveling to Iceland. Same as Norway, Iceland is a very safe country. The country you can do this. You can leave your phone on the ground, walk away, leave it there, and nothing really gonna happen with it. No one cares. Another interesting fact, shocking fact, it seems like in Iceland they don't really like hand dryers. In Europe, usually when you go to the restaurant, after you wash your hands in the bathroom, you will find a hand dryer attached to the wall. Here the situation is a little bit different. You will find a dispenser with the napkins, paper tissues to wipe your hands after you wash them. I don't know if it's a cultural thing. And right away, wow, this is another shocking thing I've never seen anywhere in the world. The benches in Iceland, particularly in Reykjavik. So the benches, they also have support for your feet. So you cannot just sit on them, you can literally lay down. Fine, let's get a little bit political. I had no idea before I came to Iceland that Iceland is not a part of European Union. Same as Norway, same as Switzerland, same as the UK now. I feel like the situation here is quite similar to Norway, which used to be under Swedish rules for centuries. And now Norwegians, they get shivers if you say the word union. No matter that Norway is the country which applies the majority of directives of European Union itself. It seems like the situation is pretty much the same in Iceland. They used to be under Danish rules for centuries, and now they really don't want to be a part of the union, especially any union where Denmark is also a part. No need to mention that the currency here is not euro, it's Icelandic crown. Another super interesting, shocking fact for me was to find out that there are 3 major industries in Iceland. Can you guess? If you can, okay, drop me a comment down below. I will be happy to know your opinion. Anyway, the 3rd place belongs to aluminium. Yes, Iceland produces aluminium, and after that it's exporting it. The 2nd place is fishing industry, and the 1st place, which is really interesting, is tourism. There are 370,000 Icelandic people living in the country, but they have 2 million tourists traveling here every single year. By the way, if you're one of them, if you're planning to travel to Iceland any soon and have some questions about the country, please don't be shy. Drop me a comment down below or just approach me directly by writing an email. I will do my best to help you. Another shocking fact, and guys, let's keep it between us, but it's a secret.
Secret, eh?
Icelandic people are not really organized, not like Norwegians or Danish. Example, my distributor offered to pick me up from the airport at 9 a.m. Well, I'm approaching passport control and I see that it's a little bit of queue. I'm in the queue texting him that I'm going to be a little bit late, I'm so sorry, but it's extra 15 minutes. The answer, well, again, that's okay, it's absolutely fine. I'm still driving to the airport, I'm on my way. For Icelandic people, everything always will be just fine. And the major phrase I recommend you learning before you come to this country is "Teradast." I'm not sure if my pronunciation is correct, but people here, they understand me. Yeah. Teradast. Everything will be fine. No matter how difficult it seems, no matter how bad your day looks like, just relax. Teradast. Definitely Italians of Scandinavia.
Bene! Capello!
Cultural shock number next. Icelandic names. It took me about a year to get used to and start remembering Norwegian names. But with Norwegian names, it's quite simple, I would say. Johan, Christian, Eirik, Henrik. But Icelandic names are totally different. I was working with these people for 3 years, but I really feel that every time I'm calling them by their names, I keep butchering their names. For example, my dear colleague, and I still... This is the name. And as far as I know, I should say Gudrun. So that little, it's D, but you need to pronounce it with your tongue between your teeth, like Gudrun. Still, so after 3 years, every time I'm calling her by her name, I feel so embarrassed. And this is a typical thing with all Icelandic names. Guys, it's really hard to pronounce them and especially remember them. My advice, if you're coming to Iceland, if you're meeting Icelandic people, if you're doing business with Iceland, first, write down their names. And second, don't be shy to ask to repeat them. Gladly they understand that for us it's really difficult to pronounce and remember their name, and they're quite happy to repeat them again for you. So don't worry, just ask again. Shocking fact number 15. If I'm right. But I feel like I really want to come back to this country. You know, it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you're visiting places you have in your bucket list and you just, you know, like ticking the point. Okay, I've been there, I've done it. With me and Iceland, the situation is quite different. I do feel like I want to try these key seasons. Winter time for the northern lights and also summertime for all these excursions and gazes and midnight sun. People here are absolutely fantastic. They're so friendly. I would say this is one of the friendliest country I've ever seen in the world. Second, the food is, oh my god guys, I highly recommend you trying Icelandic food. And the third one, there are so many things to do here. These blue lagoons, these endless hikes, the mountains, geysers, super interesting wildlife, so many things to discover. So definitely, absolutely, I will try my best to visit it again. And thank you so much guys for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed my first video from Iceland. What do you think about it? Which country you prefer? Norway or Iceland, or maybe any other Scandinavian country I should visit? Please drop me a comment down below. Which one is your favorite country in Scandinavia and why?